Okay, let's bring you more on our top story, the political crisis in Niger. A delegation from the West African regional bloc ECOWAS has arrived in the capital, Niamey. It comes a day after regional defence chiefs announced that they do have a plan for military intervention to reinstate the ousted president. Mohamed Bazoum was removed from office last month. We're going to bring in Nicolas, who's joining us live now from Dakar. This isn't the first time that there's been a representation from ECOWAS going to Niamey. The last one wasn't regarded as very successful. What do they hope to achieve this time?
That's right, Rob. They didn't even manage to leave the airport last time the ECOWAS, the West African body, sent a delegation to the capital of Niger, Niamey. But this time, they're expected to meet General Chiani, the military junta leader. But also, they hope to meet the democratically elected president, ousted president, Mohamed Bazoum. That's top on their agenda, and try to find out about his health. His health conditions and this condition of detention have deteriorated, and that's at least according to the U.S. State Department, who have actually been quite active in the diplomatic front to try to find an end to this deadlock. But this delegation, the fact that they're being received by General Chiani, well, that's a small victory for the West African body ECOWAS. And as you mentioned, it comes on the heels of the heads of the armies of the region getting together, gathering to try to drum the beat of war. But of course, that is not necessarily echoing throughout the region. Here in Senegal, for instance, there's been quite a muted reaction at the idea of sending troops on the ground. Diplomatic efforts is still the priority here. Rob?
I'm just reading on the wires here that apparently the new U.S. ambassador to Niger, Kathleen Fitzgibbons, she has arrived in the capital, Niamey, but she's not going to formally present her credentials because of, quote, the current political crisis. As you say, the U.S. playing a role in there. But this is coming at a time, as we've been talking about increasing tensions with regard to the ECOWAS troops. But I understand also that there are people in Niger who are signing up to serve with the Nigerian army.
That's right. There's an effort of mobilizing the population to get them to sign up to the troops. In effect, it's a way to garner support around the military coup. But of course, in the region, there's a lot of skepticism around what is happening in Niger, and people are acutely watching what's happening. They're watching at least how the West African body ECOWAS is going to react to this latest coup. There's been 6 in a number of years here in West Africa. And so there's really a sense here that there needs to be a return to constitutional order. And that's a real test for the legitimacy of the West African body ECOWAS that's perceived by some as a club for aging presidents that use that institution to cling on to power. And it's worth noting that in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, the presidents, the democratically elected president that were ousted, were one that were running on a second term. Now, in Niger, it was Mohamed Bazoum was a close ally to the previous president. What that signifies for some in the population, they see democracy as a continuation for aging leaders to cling on to power. And that's why you've seen some support towards these coups in the region. It's a really real crisis over the democratic institutions, and that's what's at play right now. And that's why it's so critical for this delegation to try to find an end to the deadlock, because what happens in Niger will affect the region as a whole. Rob?
It's Nicolas Haque talking to us from Dakar. And Nick, thank you very much indeed.